Can you kill your own past? Can a cause erase itself before it even begins? What happens if you pull a thread from the fabric of time and the whole world starts to unravel? There's a paradox, a real one. It says that if you traveled back in time, if you stopped your grandfather from ever meeting your grandmother, then you would never be born. But if you were never born, then you could never have traveled back in time, which means he wasn't stopped, which means you were born, which means you did go back, which means he was stopped, and now logic itself collapses. This is the grandfather paradox, a loop of cause and effect that breaks time, bending it back on itself like a Mobius strip, one side endlessly becoming the other. Imagine time as a river flowing smoothly forward, then suddenly twisting into a whirlpool, pulling everything backward and forward all at once. The paradox is the whirlpool. It tells us that cause and effect are not always so simple. Sometimes they fold and twist until the rules themselves seem to break. But it's not just about time. It's about the very nature of existence. What does it mean to exist if your own existence can erase itself? What kind of reality allows for something to both happen and never happen at the same time? Tonight, you don't need to solve this mystery. You don't need to understand it. Just breathe. Feel the slow pull of the impossible tugging at your mind. Imagine the hands of an old clock slowly turning backward, each tick unwinding moments that once were, each talk undoing what came before. Picture a film reel, ancient and fragile, spinning in reverse, light and shadow unspooling into moments that will never be seen again. Close your eyes and let the impossible thread itself gently into your thoughts. Now, let your mind drift to another paradox, one that questions the limits of power itself. Can an all-powerful being create a stone so heavy that even they cannot lift it? If yes, then the being is not all-powerful, because there is something they cannot do. If no, then again, the being is not all-powerful, because there is something they cannot create. This is the Omnipotence Paradox. It stretches our understanding of what all-powerful really means. It whispers to us that some questions may have no true answers, that some ideas are simply beyond the reach of logic and reason. Imagine a massive stone forming out of swirling stardust, hovering silently in an empty void. Invisible hands, glowing faintly with divine energy, reach toward it, but strain and falter, unable to lift it. Clouds part silently in the distance, revealing a statue slowly melting away, folding back into thought itself, a symbol of power dissolving into paradox. In the stillness, you feel the tension of this impossible question, the weight of limits and infinite possibilities coexisting. You don't need to choose a side or find a solution. Simply let the paradox cradle your mind, and as you breathe slowly, let it carry you deeper into calm. Each question here is a gentle echo in a vast chamber of thought, an echo without beginning or end, and you are floating inside it, drifting, relaxed, enveloped by the vast mystery of what might be. Imagine a prisoner in a dim cell, waiting for his fate. A judge tells him, "You will be hanged next week," but the exact day will be a surprise. The prisoner thinks deeply. If the hanging will be on Friday, then it can't be a surprise, because if he's still alive by Thursday night, Friday is the only day left. So Friday is impossible. If Friday is impossible, then Thursday must be the day. But if he's alive on Wednesday night, then Thursday is the last day left. So it wouldn't be a surprise either. So Thursday is impossible. By the same reasoning, Wednesday is impossible, then Tuesday, then Monday. He concludes the hanging cannot happen at all. But then, one morning, the executioner arrives on Tuesday, and the prisoner is caught completely by surprise. This is the unexpected hanging paradox, a puzzle of logic and prediction that twists our understanding of certainty and surprise. It shows that even when we try to reason perfectly, reality can slip through our fingers like sand. The paradox lives in the space between knowledge and mystery, between what we think will happen and what actually does. It asks, can we truly predict the future? If our predictions themselves change the future? Or is there always a corner of the unknown waiting to catch us off guard? Picture a calendar, its pages fluttering in random order, numbers blur and shift, time folding and unfolding like a restless tide. A noose slowly spins in shadow, suspended in a silent room without light. The hands of a clock melt away, no longer marking time, but dissolving into the air itself. The prisoner's fear, his certainty, his surprise, all entwined in a loop of logic that breaks down as soon as we try to grasp it. And so, this paradox is less a problem to solve and more a gentle reminder that some truths live in uncertainty. That mystery can be a kind of freedom. As you listen, let this paradox float softly in your mind, not as a puzzle to solve, but as a quiet invitation to rest in the unknown, to release control, and drift slowly deeper into calm. Imagine a traveler, not just any traveler, but one who steps through time itself. He carries with him a book that changed his life. The traveler steps back into the past, opening the book's pages in a quiet study long ago. But here's the puzzle. The book was inspired by that very past moment, written after the traveler's journey. So who wrote the original? Did the traveler bring the book from the future, or did the past create it first? This is the Bootstrap Paradox, a loop with no clear beginning or end, a story that folds in on itself, like a snake eating its own tail. It shows us that sometimes cause and effect don't just blur, they disappear entirely. An effect can be its own cause. A creation can be created by itself. Think of it as a never-ending loop of information, ideas, or objects existing without origin, endlessly cycling through time. The paradox whispers to us about the fragile line between past and future. It suggests that what we think of as the beginning may simply be part of a circle with no start. Picture an ancient book opening its worn pages. As the words begin to glow softly in the dark, the pages turn slowly but endlessly, as if caught in a dream. A typewriter appears, keys moving on their own, typing backwards, erasing and rewriting the same story over and over. Mirrors reflect into each other, creating an infinite tunnel that seems to stretch beyond time and space. A feather glides gently over parchment, leaving a trail of glowing ink that loops back to where it began. As you listen, allow yourself to float inside this endless loop. No need to untangle it. No need to solve the impossible. Just let the paradox carry you like a soft current beneath your thoughts, pulling you deeper, further into calm. This is the Bootstrap Paradox, the story without a beginning, and in that mystery, there is peace. The paradox invites us to rest with uncertainty, to see power not as absolute, but as a dance of possibility and limit. It's a reminder that some questions cannot be answered with certainty, that sometimes the greatest mysteries live in the spaces where logic folds back on itself. As you listen, let this paradox drift softly through your mind, not to conquer or understand, but to feel, to release control, and simply be, drifting deeper into calm. Some paradoxes aren't puzzles to solve. They're whispers to feel, echoes that stretch beyond logic, soft ripples in the fabric of thought. Let them carry you. Let them drift through your mind like quiet waves. And if you wake, ask yourself once more, can you kill your own past? Can a cause erase itself before it begins? These questions don't need answers tonight. Just rest within their mystery. This is the Echoes of Thought. In Part 3, we explore a paradox where reality eats itself.